So YouTube, Pewsily here, bring you a a Hieratic deck for September 1st. I ran it at the locals on September 1st on the Saturday, and went 4-2 with it, so it still works, and I'm going to show you it and explain how it still OTKs and still OTKs through Gores. So everyone's like, oh, no red eyes, but yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, you got the same sort of basic lineup as before, your 3 Tefnuit, 3 Sue, and 3 Esset. So they're like your main 9. I'm sure if you're watching this you probably know what they do. You've got your Cyber Dragon, Tribute and Special Summon, you can pop a card and you can normal summon this guy. So you'll have the magic when they're tributed, get out a normal monster. You then got 2 Nebthet, because 3 is probably overkill because it's level 5. But it's special summons, that's like the key point. Basically the more Hieratics you have in your hand, the easier and faster you can OTK. So you can like tribute him from your hand with Sue's effect, or you can use him, and I did use him a couple of times yesterday, to pop like problem monsters on the field, like a Spirit Reaper or something. So he's got that. And then the newly limited Red Eyes, which sucks. I can understand why he went to 1, but this kind of sucks that he went to 1 before we get Gustav Max. But when we get Gustav Max, you can put Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in the deck, and then use that and still go into it in OTK like normal, so that'd be fun. I upped the Birdman count to 3 because Birdman's awesome. Birdman's in there to bounce this guy, so you like go into Atom just like normal, get out this guy, special on level 6, bounce it for Birdman, banish the Atom, special on this guy, get out at level 6, or even a level 5, or you can get a level 6, then use your 2 level 6s to go into Atom, get out at level 5, and then go for Stardust. So if you can't take game, then you can protect your setup and have like an Atom, a Red Eyes, and a Stardust, or you can like overlay the Atom into Gaia Dragon, or you don't have to go for Stardust, you can go for Scrap Dragon. So you got those options as well, and that was the big problem with it before. You'd go off, do maybe 7,000 damage, and then they Dark Hole you and you lose because you've got nothing left. Now with Stardust that doesn't happen. So the 1 Gores, because you run very little back row in this because it's very monster heavy, so Gores is Gores. To make it even more consistent, you've got 3 card D. I was basically running card D before, but it's sort of like you run this or you run the Ninja variant, and I prefer this because it takes up less spots so I can run more Hieratics. So that's just my choice, but card D, if you don't have them, you can run Hanzo, but I just think they're really good. It was the start of the format, so I didn't really know what to expect, so I sort of went a bit generic hand trap wise, double Maxi, double Veiler, and it did work really well. Maxi obviously helps to get to your combo pieces faster, and Veiler is Veiler basically, doing what it does best. So like really good against Rabbit and agents and stuff, so if they go like Venus and need to get their shine balls out, it works exactly the same way as it did before. They either stop or you plus like crazy, so the hand traps work nicely. Probably wouldn't change them, sorry. And then you got your same level 6s normal as before. You can maybe try and find room for a Curse of Dragon, so you can run rank 5s more easily, but you can go into rank 5s anyway with Nebthet and Esset, so I never really saw the use for it. This is an OTK build, it's not there for control. I want to OTK and that's it. I don't want to slow down my OTK by having more control aspects, so just the 2 worked fine. Even if you open with them it's fine because you can tribute, summon them and get effects off or get them from your hand. Duality went to 2. Did this guy. Honestly didn't make a huge amount of difference because you're running 3 Tefnuit, 3 Sue, 3 Nebthet anyway. You've got so many things that you should be drawing into them basically. There was like 1 occasion in the top 8 where I drew like 1 Nebthet and 1 Convocation, even though I used a Duality and a card car, and it went like 4 turns in and I just hadn't drawn them, so I lost because there were like 3 Tefnuit, 3 Sue, 3 Esset, 1 other Nebthet, all that left in my deck, and I just wasn't drawing them, so I suppose you can't complain. 1 time happening isn't all that bad. More spells, there's a lot of back row hate. 3 MST, and the Storm is pretty sort of generic. Now that Chaos Dragons aren't so big on the scene, people can afford to play like more MSTs because there's going to be more traps and things, so you need your plays to go off basically is the gist there, so you need to run them. To back that up, I made the choice of running My Body's a Shield, and I actually ran this over Lance because this hits Torrential and Bottomless. It doesn't hit prison, which is a shame, but you can hit deprison with your Sues anyway, so that's not as much of an issue. The big issue with this deck, is warning, bottomless, and torrential. So you've got your MSTs and Solomon stuff for warnings, and this is for torrential and bottomless. So whereas Lance will only save you one monster from bottomless, it won't save you from torrential, and that's what this does. And then you've also got the added factor, it saves you from dark hole and stuff as well, and like if your opponent is set a snowman eater, sorry, you can set this and let them flip it on their turn and get rid of it, or strike bouncer if someone goes into that and tries to destroy your monsters using that, or Dolka. It's just a lot more flexible than Lance right now in this deck. In this deck particularly, in Rabbit for instance, you definitely run Lance, but in this I think my body's a lot better than Lance's. Then just 2 @1 cards. There's no Dark Hole because it cocks with Tefnuit, and I love Tefnuit, he's my favourite one. Oh, look at him. But Dark Hole, it's nice to have, and I did always used to run it, but you'd sort of find yourself, you'd Dark Hole the field, and then you wouldn't be able to do anything because you're left with a Tefnuit in hand. So it was too easy to misplay, and it was sort of slowing you down as much. And then just your last 3 cards, because it's a 40 card deck, are 2 Torrential and Solemn. Because you're on so few traps, you can side in Decrees, which I was doing, and that was basically there for Rabbit and any Gravekeepers I saw. And the Solemn's there as like an anti-warning card, basically, is all it's really there for. So you got so many cards in there to take out back row. You've got your Solemn, your 3 MST, your Storm, your 3 Sues. You can side in Decrees, which I was doing, and I was also siding in Night Beams as well. So, yeah. But it works very well, as evidenced by the mass winning yesterday. So you do the same sort of thing as before, like special, tribute to special, get out your level 6. But then you've got the added flexibility now where Birdman can keep recycling, I say recycling, but keep reusing your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So I had 2 Birdmen in hand in one duel, so I used 1 Red Eyes 3 times. So, you know, when you plus that much, you know you're going to win. But just basically means that you can go into Atom a lot more. So that's nice and fun. And Birdman is basically the reason you can keep OTKing. So it makes OTKing still more consistent, but basically if you have like 3 Hieratics in hand, you should be able to do it. So you got like special, tribute for this, get out on normal, and then either like pop 1 in your hand to hit a back row, or like tribute for the other one and get out another level 6. So then you go into Atom, get out level 6, put those 2 into Atom, get out Red Eyes, get out something, bounce for Birdman, and you know, straight away from there you've got like 3 monsters on the field with over 2,000 attack, and then you can synchro into the Stardust as well. So just having 3 Hieratics in hand and a Birdman is basically, you'd have this in attack, 2 Gaia Dragons and a Stardust. So it's very much a case of come at me, bro. Even if like you've got to get over some defense and you can't win that turn, you're still going to do a hell of a lot of piercing with the Gaia Dragons, and then you've got to get over all your monsters, and you've got Stardust to prevent the Dark Hole, like I said before. So that's the main deck. Extra deck, honestly, really hasn't changed, apart from there's more slight focus on Synchro Summoning. So you still got your 3 Atom, and you do need 3. I mean, you get away with running 2, but there were a few duels where I did use all 3. Like the times when you FTK, which happened 3 times. 3 FTKs in one tournament is nasty, which is why you should never underestimate this deck. And then you got these 3. The reason I run 3 Gaia Dragons as well is because you run 3 of these, and because you can overlay this onto Exabeetle as well. So you cannot use your Exabeetle's effect, and then he's a tiny monster, so he's kind of useless, and then you can overlay for that as well. And he's just too flexible to not have. Your Bouncer, because he's freaking amazing. You want Exabeetle, and you want of this guy, just in case, because he's got 2,800 attack, is essentially why he's in there. I mean, overall, the Bouncer's better, but this guy does have his uses. You got 2 rank 6s, the Adrius and the Tyrus, because you run rank 5, sorry, because you do run level 5s, and it is possible to get them out. I didn't personally touch them all day, where there are times that I could, but if you really think about what you're doing, you can do the rank 6 spam rather than go into that in control. It wouldn't be worth cutting them, but, you know, I never went into them. You got your 1 Black Rose, because you got level 6s and Veilers. You want Ancient Sacred Wyvern because you've got level 6s and Veilers. Your Stardust, Scrap, and a shiny Gauze token. So the extra side deck does need work, but essentially it's a lot more back row hate. So like I said, you got your Night Beams, Snowman Eaters, and 3 Decree, which is basically largely what I was siding all day. 2 Ryos just because it's generically good. 2 Crows, which I didn't touch all day. That, just in case agents were there, and you can grab it whenever you want it. Another Veiler, and 2 Soul Takers, which I didn't touch all day. So, on the whole, it's good. I would probably stick with like 7 or so of the cards, like the Night Beams, those, and like the Drago and the Ryos, but the rest could use work. So, there we are. That's how I would run it for this coming format. As it defines itself some more, you're obviously going to be able to have room for more tech choices. So that's what the ban list essentially did for us. Took away a little bit of consistency, but gave us a lot of room for tech, which is why I was able to run so many hand traps. So there we are. Rate, comment, subscribe as always. Peace out.